Welcome back to my shop. My name is Steven, and today on this episode or whatever, we are working on a tow truck. This customer came in and he needed some stuff made. He needed some mounts for a GoJack along with a bucket to hold like cat litter or absorbent for oil. So I think I'm gonna make something here, a saddle here, and he wanted some ways for it to be not stolen, of course. He needed a lip added here to hold some plywood, and then he needed a way to secure these tow arms so it doesn't get stolen. Right now it's just a pin that stops it from falling out, but that's not stopping from anyone from pulling the pin and stealing it. I don't know why someone would steal it, but I guess it is something that people steal. So yeah, we're gonna get started. I did pre-prep some stuff. You'll see later I made some stuff before the truck showed up, but there are things that I would prefer to make once, so waited for the truck to show up. So we're gonna try to wrap this up in the next few hours with the truck here. So stay tuned. That did not work as planned. Seems like I do not own enough bending tools to close in a box. I'm gonna see if I can salvage this piece. Otherwise, it looks like I'm gonna have to make two L-shaped, or I guess angle iron at this point, and weld them together. All right, that's one fully welded tube, and I already test fitted it and it seems to fit perfectly. So I'm going to make 3 more. I ended up making this bend that I couldn't bend a little longer, the cut slit, so I could be able to bend it by hand. It's not as nice, but it works. So now I'm just gonna weld all 3 of these up, and then we'll move on to the next step. Alright, so we got all 4 of these GoJack sleeves made up, and so now we need to figure out what this spacing is so it can hold the sleeves together and have the GoJack slide into them. Alright, so this takes care of the 2 GoJack storage sleeves that are going to go on the truck. And the next thing they want is a place to store a 5-gallon bucket. So I'm trying to need to make some sort of hanger so the bucket will sit here, maybe somewhere right here in front of the GoJack. Give me 1 second. Alright, now that I got the GoJack in place, I think I'm just going to try to make maybe a half loop here, weld it back to the box, because I can't pull it straight out. It's going to run into the GoJack. So if I make a half loop and use this as a stop so it doesn't slide past, I think I can squeeze by and just tilt this under so they can pull it out without removing the GoJack. So I have this 1.5 inch wide flat bar that I guess I'm going to try to use this and roll it up and see how that goes. Alright, I got this all mocked up. It seems to fit well around this trash can. And all I gotta do is weld it in here. And I'm gonna use that back cross member as a rest for the remainder lift of the trash can. So let me weld this up real quick. Probably don't need to watch that, and we will test fit the bucket. Hold it up. I think I made this a bit too high. So if this is fully seated forward like it should be, I think this can't come out anymore like I planned. And there's still plenty of space on the bottom, so I should have made it a little lower before I welded it all the way. But if you end up tilting this back, which I haven't decided what to do about this, if it's going to be a problem for the customer or not. But if it tilted back, you can snake it out. It's easier with 2 hands. But it does come out. So we need to wait for the truck to show up so we can finish assembling the whole thing. Okay, so I've ran into some issues. This is the piece I pre-made. And the first problem I have is when it comes in, it kind of wobbles in here because there's nothing supporting the wheels on top. So I need to make a plate on each side so the wheels have something to lean against so they don't wobble as much in here. But the next problem is, if you can see, is the piece sticking out from here sticks out too high, and so it'll run into this rolling bed. So I think, I imagined it was supposed to mount something like this, except I think it has to be something more like this now. So I need to make a plate to fill that hole and possibly a gusset, so this won't try to do this with all the wood hanging out. So that's the plan, so I'll give that a shot. Okay, I have it all tacked up. I think it's time for a test fit, so let me get set up. I already have the bed up so I can have it saddled over the frame. So give me a second to bring everything over. It fits for now. I'm gonna have to test it with the bed coming down to see if that jack will hit any of the bed frame. And this is resting on some studs, so I gotta make some sort of spacer here so it sits flat on the frame. Took it back out. I don't know where I went wrong with my measurement, but it seems like it's a ½ inch too high, which is why those are running, well, the GoJack is running into the frame rail of the bed and now bending this back support. So I cut new plates out. I'm gonna cut these out, weld the new one in, probably tack them up, make sure they still fit, and while I'm still here, fully weld in these back wheel supports and probably put in a fish plate because they're not gonna hold up very well or very long with just butt joints. So cut a piece of flat bar strip, maybe this one, maybe a different one, and then just weld a fish plate to the back side and call it a day. So here we go. Alright, my battery died and I got too lazy to change it, but here we are. I got this thing fully welded and I have these mounting tabs with a screw or a hole in it, which I need to drill the hole in the frame as well. But now on to the next problem. This guy has these arms that kind of pick up on the tray or on the vehicle so you could tow behind it, and he wants a way to secure it. onto this. So I was thinking just drill a through hole in the back, and then we could use a trailer toe or a receiver pin to lock it in place. So I'm gonna measure all that out and drill holes for it. Got this hitch pin receiver mounted, just drill the hole all the way through and it bolts to the back plate. So the next thing to work on is this lip. They want a little shelf here that goes up so they can put plywood and shit on here. And after that, we just got to drill 2 holes to mount the saddle. So I think I'm just gonna I have a piece of 2.5-inch flat bar. I think I'm just going to go around the perimeter, bend it 3 times, 3 times, and then cut out all these access pieces. And then maybe, I don't know, 4 riv nuts, 2 on each of this big side, and don't mount any on this side because it goes through this cross member on both sides, so I don't really want to mess with that. So just cut out access for these hardware and that should be good. This wraps up this lip on this side. Some riv nuts and some screws, and that's it. Only one on this side because the lip over there is holding, or the 2x2 is holding that up. So let me quickly do the same on the other side and then try to get this saddle for the GoJack on. Alright guys, we got this all bolted in. Kind of wobbles a little, but I think it'll be okay. Customer's about to show up anytime soon, so that'll be all for this pretty much 1-day build. And stay tuned to see what other wacky things customers will want me to make. Okay, catch you later.